What do you think of when you think of the best character in a show? Usually, for me, it would be a side character. You know what I mean? So, like for Maze Runner, yeah, I know it's a movie, but movies and TV shows alike. For Maze Runner, it'd be Minho. I think that's how you say his name. Thomas is cool. Thomas is like my second favorite, but I think Minho is like Minho is probably like the best. And then like for Better Call Saul, like Saul's really good, but I enjoyed not like seeing Nacho. And for Breaking Bad, obviously it'd be Jesse, because Walter White, he's not he's not as enjoyable as seeing like Jesse on the screen. Tulsa King, I think Goody's the best. Stranger Things, obviously Steve Harrington, and then the boys, the A Train, all this other stuff. And when I'm thinking about main characters, um, I usually don't think that they're the best, but there is one exception to this rule. Who is the best main character would have to be. I mean, it wouldn't have to be um, the best person on a show, but I think that in this particular show, I think the best character and the main character are the same person, and that would be Walking Dead. I know a lot of people have like talked about this before, um, and then there's anime too. Um, to be honest, we're talking about anime. I've really only watched Death Note, and I've watched Naruto and some other ones, but I've only completed those two. I'd say Naruto, my favorite is probably Rock Lee, and then in Shippuden, it was definitely Itachi or Obito. Um, but no, probably in Death Note, obviously it's L. But these characters, what are they alike? They're not the main character. Um, but in The Walking Dead, it's different. I think that Rick Grimes is the best character in the show. And not only is he the best character, but he's also the main character. And I think he's the best main character of a show that I've ever watched. I've watched a lot of TV. Um, just oh my gosh, a lot. Just a lot of TV. But here's the reason. I know a lot of people. They like Shane. They like the governor. They like Daryl. They like some even like Meryl, and then they like Glenn. A lot of people like Glenn, and honestly, I understand that. But I think, in my opinion, when it comes to the favorite character of a show, um, I think when you want to think about it, you should ask yourself, who do you like seeing the best on the screen? Who do you await for their appearance? Who are you like, oh yeah, any scene, any given scene, I want that character to appear. You know, for all those characters I just listed, I can even list like secondary characters. Maybe I'm gonna forget about Sun. But in Maze Runner, what's his name? Newt, also another one. In Better Call Saul, Mike. In Breaking Bad, I guess it would be Hank, Asax Schrader. And the Tulsa King. Everybody likes Tyson, I think. I do like Goody more, but there's a whole arc there. And with Stranger Things, and I mean, there's a lot of favorite. I really like. I think Lucas is really good. And I think Mike is good in the earlier seasons. Um, but there's all these characters of these shows. I don't think Stranger Things really has a main character, but you know, when we're talking about liking someone the best in a show that's like less than like obviously 11 is more of a main character than Mike, even though Mike was like a main character in season 1. 11's kind of the main character of the show, and Hopper. Um, with Walking Dead, you do see a similar thing, but obviously Rick is the main character. If you probably got everything in the verse added up, I don't know who would be the most main character. Maybe it's the guy in Fear the Walking Dead, the guy with the bow staff. I don't really remember his name right now. But yeah, my thing is when Rick appeared on the show, like obviously he started the show, he's on the pilot, he is the main character. Um, it's it's more easy to see than with other shows. For his sake, yes, he did disappear. Spoiler warning. And I think the seventh season for a while. But honestly, the way they portray Rick is different from really any other show I've ever seen. I've never seen a show make a character's appearance so like volatile. When you first see Rick, he's this like good, morally good like guy. He reunites with his family, and then he slowly goes into like this madman that still wants to protect his family. And then he gets a little bit good, and then Negan comes up, and oh my gosh, excellent show, Walking Dead. It's an excellent show. It's one of those shows. It's kind of weird because with Stranger Things, that was my favorite show for a while until they released season five, which I'll probably talk about that in another video. But Walking Dead is a very similar issue. The earlier seasons of Walking Dead are absolutely peak, dude. They're amazing. I mean, season one is really good, but season two is honestly even better. And some of season one and two have like some good things about them that the later seasons don't. But the later seasons have stuff that's like even better because of Negan and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean, the arc that Rick goes through, you see him in so many different aspects. And every single one, the show, I don't know how the showrunners did it, but they make you like the character so much while also having him on the screen a lot. They did make some like creative decisions with how much they'd show him on the show. And I don't know if you saw the sequel show where he's with his, I guess it'd be his wife or his girlfriend. I forgot her name. But the way they make him, introduce him, portray him, it's just honestly, he's my favorite character on the show. But I've never seen that with a main character. See, when I rewatch a show, because I've rewatched many shows, I've rewatched Stranger Things, rewatched Better Call Saul, I've rewatched Breaking Bad, I've rewatched Maze Runner. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've rewatched. When I'm rewatching these shows, I'm not really looking for the arc of the main character. When you're rewatching Naruto, you're not really looking for Naruto. I mean, you're looking for the fights, but you're not looking for, hey, what's he gonna do next? You're looking at the villains and the side characters. But with Walking Dead, it's different. I feel like when you rewatch Walking Dead, you're looking at Rick, and when you watch Walking Dead for the first time, you're looking at Rick. Now, you guys might have a different opinion of this than me, and everybody's you know uh, independently. You have your own opinion. I do too. A lot of people like Glenn the most. Some people even do like Governor the most, but I feel like when it comes to main characters of any TV show, and you could say, hey, so and so TV show has a better main character, who's also the best character, and you put in the comments, maybe you'll talk about it, maybe you'll change my mind. I'd have to see the show first, or maybe already have seen it. I don't really know. But yeah, I mean, Rick Grimes, the I hope they make more, but to be honest, Walking Dead, the show as a whole, isn't even like it's good, but the bad is really bad. The bad part of Walking Dead is not fun to watch. At the end, you were really dragging, just like The Flash. I mean, I'd say for The Flash, that's another show where the main character is the best character, but he's not better than Rick Grimes. Really good. Barry Allen's really good. He kind of has an arc, but that show, he's really the. I mean, there's some good parts of that show, but he's really the best on that show. But compared to Rick Grimes, I mean, it's kind of hard to compare them because the Flash is much more lighthearted and has less depth. But Walking Dead, I mean, dude, you are like when I was watching Walking Dead, I was actually rewatching it because when I was younger, I watched it with my family. I was probably too young. I'd say Walking Dead is one of those shows, just like The Boys, that kids should not actually watch. Like Stranger Things, yeah, kids can watch it. It's a little more horror, but I think they can take it. Stranger Things, that's one thing. Walking Dead and The Boys, no, okay, no, do not watch that. If you're like younger than 12, do not watch those shows. But I was rewatching Walking Dead, just to remember what happened. And man, I was so invested. But if you disagree, just put in the comments. But yeah, I'll see y'all when I do, I guess.